All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Giants Nation show with another film breakdown of Jaxson Dart, this time versus Oklahoma. Game 8 of the year. Had over 300 passing yards and a passing touchdown in this one, and a win against the Sooners for Ole Miss. So we'll go into it. Not the craziest game, but again, we're 8 games in. We're getting to the SEC schedule. How do we, fare out against these guys, right? We watched the LSU game. We watched the Kentucky game. Now it's time for Oklahoma and then Arkansas after that, and then Florida. So let's get into it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Again, every single game from this final season will be on this series, right? So again, this is the 8th game. That means there's 7 games of film on this channel. So like and subscribe. First play action. Going to hit the over to the tight end. All right, front side, we're looking at this. Corner squats, we're not throwing the out. The vertical is not really part of this throw. So when the corner squats, let's get to the backside tight end on the over. These linebackers, flow with the play action. Throw the ball over their head. In between both of them, nice chunk play. Again, quick dart. Don't get stuck on it. Just read it. If it's not there, get to the backside. And hit your tight end for a nice chunk play. Next play, we're going to see that sail concept, right? The concept we love ever so much for Ole Miss and Jaxson Dart specifically. Going to hit the sail up here versus cover 6. And you get you a nice big 30-plus yard play out of it with some yak. So, again, it's a cover 6 defense, right? We have cover 4 on this side, quarter, half, So, what does that mean? That means there's not going to be anyone carrying this into the sideline. The outside corner is going to be occupied with the vertical, and then this safety is not triggering on that corner. So it's a nice, easy read for Dart. He sees it, rip it, throwing the ball out of his break. Good accuracy, allows him to get some yak on the play. And again, a 30-plus yard play for Ole Miss. Again, as soon as we see that this linebacker isn't carrying this, get that on him. And then you get all that yak, and then Ole Miss ends up rushing the ball a couple times for a rushing touchdown. They get the ball back, 2 runs, and now we end up with 3rd and 2. And our tight end, we're going to motion him into the flats. We're going to throw the ball over 2's head. And again, good job not throwing this ball flat to allow number 2 to either get a hand on the ball or make a tackle, but our tight end just ends up dropping it. Again, this is all by design. And so number 2 chases it. So if you throw this ball flat, it allows him to make the tackle before the first down marker, which is the 12-yard line. And hey, he still may have made the tackle on this one. Or if you threw it, flat, he may undercut this and get a hand on the ball. So you throw it over the head and allow him to turn upfield and keep that momentum. Our tight end just drops it. So, I like the fact that he threw that ball with some touch and over instead of just trying to put it, just bullet it in there. You also have, this pressure right here. Ends up being a drop. They end up punting the ball. So next drive, 2nd down. We're going to run double post, and then the wheel with the tight end. We force it. We force it against man coverage. Right, we're looking for the wheel here. This is your read if you're Dart. Right, this is your read. If he goes out into the flats to play the running back, then you throw the wheel, but he carries it, and Dart had kind of just predetermined that that's where he's going to go. Tight end's covered, ball's high, out of bounds. Again, don't got to force it. Have some patience. Slide with this, throw this to your back. It's 2nd down. You allow him to go get some yards. Maybe it's a 1st down, maybe it's a more manageable 3rd down. But we end up forcing that ball. And it's a bad ball, and then you end up with a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 6 or whatever it ends up being. Get that ball to your back. It's there, right? Even the linebacker who's in coverage with him is turning back and not even looking at him. It's there. Hit it. And instead you get a third down. Good check down on this 3rd and 7. Again, there's some passing concepts in this game from Ole Miss that I simply don't understand. So Dart checks this down and gets a first down. Good job. But just from the Ole Miss point of view, we have an ice again against a zone coverage, right? We know that there's, linebackers could back out. They do. An isolation dig, nothing to try and occupy any of these 3 defenders to open it up. Isolated seam and a hitch. It's just thankfully they played soft on the check down, because where is Dart supposed to go here? And I get if this player plays this more aggressively, you can throw the dig, but still you have this presence there. It's just a very weird call from Ole Miss. Again, good job by Dart. Hits the check down. Tight end gets himself an extra couple of yards, and you end up with a first down. Just see it, get that ball out quick. Don't wait. Don't allow the linebacker to get into that space and stop him from getting the first down. Good stuff. Next play, our tight end's going to get rerouted on this drag, and we're going to throw the ball to this dig on the backside with pressure. And there certainly is pressure, right? Dart takes a nice pop on this one. This ball ends up being inaccurate. I struggle with this one because this is designed, this jet sweep and the running back working out here, this is designed to pull these linebackers horizontally and then get the tight end, right? This is what we're looking for to get. This is exactly what we're looking for. But this linebacker, I think that's Stutzman, has a good reroute, but also picks his defender. So this is there. But I think Dart, because one, this player's covering with man, you have it rerouted. Dart, with the pressure that he's getting from his center not being able to make that block, it's just like, you know what? I'm getting to the dig. Right? I know I have that one-on-one with this safety rolling down. I'm going to get to the dig. So I actually like the decision. It's just a bad ball while getting hit. So again, I could sit here and pause this right now and be like, oh my gosh, this is your design throw it to it. But again, they're trying to, get these linebackers flowing way more than what they did. And so when you ask your center to get to the backside 4-eye, he's not able to do that. And now you've got 32, screaming down the pipe. So I understand him seeing all this mess, get to the backside dig, and throw it. It just ends up being inaccurate. Next play, I talk about a mess of a concept. I don't know what is going on with this. I mean, watch this passing concept and tell me exactly what we're trying to accomplish. All right, we got the check here. I don't know what in the world is going on. We have the tight end sit right here. Jordan Watkins is running into the middle of the field and then out. You have this sit right here. I just don't know what maybe you're trying to have some type of variation off of mesh where you're trying to make this. I don't know. What I actually think is Watkins ran the wrong route. I think Watkins is supposed to run a drag right here, and it's supposed to be mesh. Just the way the tight end sits, you have this receiver sit and see that it's zone, right? So, you whip these out instead of carrying it. I don't know exactly what we're trying to get here. But regardless, good job by Dart realizing it's a mess and looking to check down. Now the Oklahoma defender gets his hands on, mitts on the ball and it ends up being incomplete. But look at it from this point of view. What is going on here? So good job on Dart realizing this play's dead. Let me just get the ball to my running back. Unfortunately, like I said, a D lineman gets his hand on it. And now we get 3rd and 10 after those 2 straight incompletions. We get it versus cover 1, and we just missed the crosser. It's as simple as that. Again, you get it versus man coverage. You've got these guys playing off. So you've won, right? You know, you're not going to throw the underneath because this is the one that's going to the first down marker. Dart sees it. And we just miss and end up having to punt. I mean, they play this defense perfectly the way you want, right? This safety rotates towards middle of the field. This linebacker's floating with the back. It's just there. We simply just miss and then have to punt and get a 3 and out. Next drive ends in a field goal, and we're going to start with a simple speed out to the slot. Again, you get it versus cover 3 this time. You don't have that help over the... Excuse me, move this. You don't have that help over the top. So this corner has to carry the vertical. They can't squat the way he did before. So you've got this space. Pretty easy read. Throw it. Take your gain. Good stuff. Again, simple read. Get it done. Good accuracy. Get the ball on him. Let him get a couple of yards upfield and then move on to the next play. Next play, a nice chunk play. Good read by Jaxson Dart. Is like a form of mesh. So you can see Caden Lee's on this crosser, but you have the mesh here. Mesh on the outside receiver. And you get this nice chunk play. So you'll see Ole Miss, and you even see this in the NFL sometimes as well too, is you'll have the mesh part, and then you'll have the sit route, right? That sits in the middle of the field. You have the running back with the rail out here. And again, this player would sit right here. Instead, because this safety steps down, right, to take that away, well, we're just going to convert that in to like a crossing bender, and then you're going to have all this space over the top because they're playing man. They're playing man against this mesh, right? We're manned up here, man with the running back, man, and these two miscommunicate their assignment, and Juice Wells is actually not being covered by anybody. But against man, mesh works, right? It works. This is the mesh. But for Dart, this is the more high leverage throw. Make it. It's there. That safety wants to step down and try and take away the sit route on mesh. All right, make him pay. I don't know if this is an option for this receiver or not to keep this going, but he does. Dart hits him on stride, and Caden Lee gets himself a nice 28-yard chunk play. Next play, we're going to be versus cover 3. We're going to hit this deep out up top. Far hash. Difficult throw. Fairly solid accuracy. Again, it's a simple read for Dart. You get versus off coverage. Good job by this receiver to sell in. Jordan Watkins. Sell in. Plant that foot. Get out. And then you see, when he's turning to get, like, this is his route, right? This is all just setting up the route. I mean, the ball's out of his hand now. So when he's got his head turned around, here's the ball right here at the 50-yard line. Gets on him. Over number 5 in the curl hook zone's hands. And you get yourself, another nice chunk completion. Good timing. Get it on him. Good stuff. And then the next play, we got ourselves a free access hitch down at the bottom on this first down, and they ran the ball a couple times, and they weren't able to convert, so they ended up kicking a field goal. So this is how this drive ends for Dart. But this is a really good drive for Dart. Unfortunately for him, it only ends in 3 points because of some failed run attempts. Next drive, this play really bothers me because this is a concept they ran a lot all this game. It's a game plan specific. End up scrambling, taking a couple hits on this on first down. Why are we not throwing this? This is what you've seen this play in this game before. You're going to see it a bunch after this. This is a play they were spamming. And this is the exact look you look to get it for. get it against, right? You have the safe, you have 3/2, but you're reading this outside corner. This outside corner, covers deep in this deep third and a cover 3. It's there. It's there. It's there 10 times out of 10. It's not a high risk throw. You need to have good timing on it, but you just got to throw it, right? You see it, you throw it. There's no risk to this throw, even if you are late. And we just, for some reason, get off of it, right? And there's no he was looking for the bigger throw. No, this is the same as those free access hitches, right? This one just requires a little bit of post-snap reading, and for some reason, we just get completely off of that. And you're left taking a couple unnecessary hits because you had an easy completion. Again, you get to the backside's not open, so good on not forcing it in there. But you scramble, take a couple hits. Again, that's the type of stuff that worries me because it's so simple. So why aren't we operating that the way it's supposed to be? Next play action, boot right. We're gonna hit the tight end in the flat. Pretty simple. We don't need to break that one down too much. Good job. Next play, 3rd and 4. We're going to run mesh. We're going to run mesh versus cover 2. So we're going to have the sit, the 2 mesh point, and Dart runs on this one. There's really nowhere for him to go. Let's break it down. Right, first read is the rail by the running back. That's not there. So now we get to the mesh part of this. That is not there. This is not there. Again, remember, it's 3rd and 4. Right, we're not trying to, thread the needle to get this ball in here. And then the sit route is not there either. It's bracketed. There's literally nowhere for Dart to go. The only other option Dart would have had was pre-snap, picking the alert on this and throwing this, which again would have been the better option, but that's got to be a pre-snap read. And then 3rd and 4, I do not blame him at all for not looking at that. So we scramble. If we keep our eyes up, we may be able to get the back for a touchdown in the end zone, but we've got our eyes on the marker. Ends up sliding to avoid that big, massive hit, which I don't blame him either, but you end up with a 4th and 1. I think he more kind of loses his footing right here and doesn't want to take a hit while off balance. End up with a 4th and 1. They hand the ball off to Juice Wells, and you get a turnover on downs. So next drive, or I guess 3rd quarter now. Again, let's hit the sail, right? That's the concept that, Jaxson Dart has been the most comfortable running. I think that has gotten it right more times than not. But you get it versus cover 3. Safety is responsible for this zone. He doesn't take outside leverage. He's not working with Caden Lee. The vertical is clearing out this deep thirds corner. Hit him. Good accuracy, good timing. Get the ball on him. Nice chunk play. Easy. Easy money for Dart. He's very comfortable making that throw. Next play. Again, this next play is one of these Ole Miss things where they're going to run 2 goes on the outside and then this underneath for Jordan Watkins. And Dart ends up scrambling and getting some yards. So it's just... you see that this receiver expects this ball to be out at this point. Watch the way he is. Looks back and he slows down. What's going on? This is not how the play is supposed to be working. All right, so I don't think this is some long developing 25-yard out route that he's supposed to be running. And then you look at Jordan Watkins underneath, because in reality is, despite the pressure, Dart should be throwing this ball right here. But Dart never looks back at the quarterback, right? If anything, he looks to turn up field to block. So it's just one of those plays where I do not know what Ole Miss is trying to accomplish. The answer probably is somebody made a mistake here. But look, he should have thrown the ball here. Watkins not once looks for the ball. And Dart gets the most yards out of it. Again, somebody made a mistake is my best guess on that one. So next play, 3rd and 1, we're going to run speed option. Dart cuts it up, gets the yards that are there. Good job. We're reading this end. This end plays wide, cut it up. Get yourself a first down. Pretty simple, right? We don't need to go into breaking any of that down. You don't really see the speed option like this anymore. But good stuff by Dart there. Next play. Again, this go with the speed out here. We get it versus a corner blitz. So this one's a little more confusing, and Dart makes a nice throw. Like this will go on the highlight tape here. So we are reading. Eyes are on this side of the field from start to finish, right? From pre-snap to post-snap. We have the corner blitz. Okay, so what does the corner blitz tell us? The speed out is there. It's there. Basically, no matter what, it's there. But if this safety gets really aggressive on it, because he knows that they're running that concept a lot, well, guess what will be there in turn? This down the field. Instead, Dart chooses neither. Again, throw one or the other. One of these two. There needs to be no excuse for not throwing one of the other. Because if this is what spooks you from throwing this, well, then you should be throwing this. And vice versa. Again, what are we looking at? Does the corner blitz, we're not able to process that in time to realize what it is. Again, once again, get to the backside. It's not there. This is a good job by Dart. You end up getting a holding penalty on Ole Miss that negates it. But this is a really nice throw by Dart on the run, rolling to his left. But just, again, why? Having a hard time figuring out what stopped us from taking the play that was there. Because there was two. There was two, and we took 0. Next play. Okay, now we're going to run the go with the speed out again. This time versus a more clean read. This corner's playing the overhang. You have this safety down low. Throw the out. Takes a simple, easy read. All right, so that's easy for him there. Again, corner plays the vertical. This nickel corner is in this overhang position, so he's not there. The safety's not over the top for this corner to take a chance. So you take the speed out, and you take a 1st and 20 and turn it into a 2nd and 7. Get a couple run plays that allow you to get a first down after that, and then we're going to finish this drive with a Jaxson Dart sole touchdown of the game, where they are going to fake this ball out here to the running back, and you see these guys fake block. We'll hit the tight end up the seam and for a beautiful touchdown pass. So again, this is a little bit of a cheap, this is trickeration. So we throw like we're throwing this screen out here. You see the way that everyone's pretending to block. You don't, but still, Dart, great timing, great accuracy. Not being afraid to put that ball in the middle of 2 defenders, and you get yourself a touchdown. Again, you give the little pump. That moves 28. Now let's hit this ball right here. Bam. Right between 2 defenders. Bam. Touchdown, Ole Miss. And Dart gets his only touchdown of this game. Next drive ends up being a touchdown drive with some really nice, just nice throws in it. And we'll go through it. This first play, pretty simple. Again, we've got the vertical with the out. We could hit this. Again, you get it versus man coverage. So they get it versus man coverage. We're going to run this Y under. This linebacker is going to play the middle of the field with the running back. Hit the tight end. Easy. Get a nice first down. Again, they got a man indicator. Pretty simple. Dart's got his eyes on the tight end, reading this player. Puts it on him. Nice throw. This next play ends up in a sack. And this is one of those things from Ole Miss that bothers me, but also Dart needs to do a better job. So this is going to be that shock concept where you have the hitch underneath, the slot fade, the juke route, the choice route right here. And then on the backside, you can put anything. What frustrates me, though, is what they put on the backside. They put a seam and a hitch back here. That's just not a winning route combination. And if you're running this concept on the shock concept and you get it verse too high, well, that's usually an indicator that we're going to hit the backside of this progression. Because the thing is, verse too high, if they're in cover 2, they take away the slot fade. They have the choice route is taken away by both these defenders right here. And then the flat defender, the outside corner, would have this. There's just no options there. So you go to the backside of the progression where, let's just say we run a wrap concept where let's just play it out. Let's say this player runs a choice route and then you run a dig underneath. Well, you have this player stop right here. You have a dig underneath it. You tighten the alignment, and we should be able to hit someone in this hole right here. But instead, Dart's eyes go to the backside of this because they should. But again, where's the throw on this? Now, the real answer is we should be throwing this hitch, right? Trust it. Because, again, getting to the backside of this is not going to result in anything positive, or it shouldn't. But you get against cover 4, so what are we going to throw? We should throw the hitch. Throw this curl route. It's a far throw, but you should still make that throw. But Dart's looking at it, get to the backside, and our eyes never think, hey, you know what? They're in a cover 4. This outside corner sags way off. This could be open. Instead, we go just straight to eyes down run mode. And we end up taking a sack. He flips this ball and, ends up being called a sack. If we just scan the field, right, we know this isn't going to be there. We know the slot fades not. We just check this. I know that's not really a part of the concept most of the time, but it is sometimes. And you could have had a nice, easy completion. Instead, you're taking a sack and creating, a 2nd and 14 for you. So, on 2nd and 14, we're going to run a play, this play action jet sweep. We're going to throw the vertical down here, and we're just going to miss on this. Good coverage overall, but this ball, again, dies on the inside shoulder. Doesn't give our receiver a chance. Whoops. And then the safety rotates with them. Looks like they're in, a type of cover 4 here. The safety bites up on the run action. So Dart, all right, we've got, he picks the right spot to go to, even though this is good coverage. This is where he's supposed to go. Nothing else is going to be there. So he throws it. And we just miss, man. We miss inside. Put this ball right here on the outside shoulder. You give him a chance, right? It's not the highest, completed throw, but you give him a chance. Instead, again, we see it time after time after time with these deep passes, especially once we get to the SEC games where the coverage is a little bit tighter, is we're in a clean pocket. And look where that ball's landing, man. It just doesn't get to that outside shoulder. Got to get more juice on those throws. But next play, 3rd and 14. We're going to run dagger versus cover 1. So we're going to have the dagger, the clear, and then the under. And Dart does a good job, makes a great throw on the run, improvising. So again, 3rd and 14. Now we'll say the dagger is there. This is a hard throw, especially with this, the alignment they have. The dagger is there, and Dart knows he has man coverage. That's a lot of times why on these 3rd downs he will take off and run, because he knows he has the defense's back to him on these longer progressing plays. But the dagger is there if we're able to hang in the pocket. And you can throw this ball right now, right? This is man coverage across the board. Your receiver's one. It's going to be there. But again, Dart sees man coverage. He sees this lane in the pocket. All his, DBs to his back. And what he doesn't account for is these defensive ends redirecting and getting a hand on him. But he's still able to make, probably one of his more impressive just throws. Like, we see this pressure, our eyes immediately go down. So we run up through the pocket. Again, these defensive ends or defensive linemen are working to tackle him. And he just puts a dime while on the throw. Just flips that ball up there. Again, that's one for the highlight. I mean, that's a perfectly accurate throw while getting tackled around your feet on the run. Full speed run, too. Just puts a perfect ball on him. You convert a 3rd and 14, and that gets the boys hyped up. So what are we going to do next play? Well, actually, the next play is not the exciting one. It's the play after this. We're going to do the play action jet sweep, Y over, right, which we ran earlier in the game. Good job by the tight end. Good job by Dart. When you're running this, again, you get this defense wide, but you get this linebacker to fall back in the zone. Good job by the tight end to not overrun this coverage and to sit. And even a good job for Dart to put that on the shoulder behind him. Then we run this jet sweep. We've got what we're looking for. Don't lead him. Don't lead him into a big hit. Allows him to turn upfield and you get a first down. This is sometimes why it's hard to run some of the quick game stuff in Ole Miss, is you have all this action, right? In reality, the ball should be out of Dart's hands now. But he's got to spend all this time, get into his drop, feet set, and we're like a second late. Not on Dart as part of the offense, but that ball should be out in like a more normal passing concept. And then next play, we're going to get the hitch and go. They're actually going to run a cover 0 blitz from this base. You know, the giveaway is they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on a line that they're sending some type of blitz. They do. They send a 0 blitz. Right, then now they keep the tight end and the running back in, so these players end up being like a safety in this. But we're going to run this hitch and go. We get him on it. And Dart puts it on him. And you get this ball down to the 1 yard line where J.J. Pegues runs it in for a touchdown. From Dart's point of view, again, I kind of hate some of these 0 blitzes from depth. And again, they keep in 6, they rush 6. Clean pocket, put it on him. And you get that ball to the 1 yard line and allow Pegues to run that touchdown in. Next play, we're going to hit this vertical up top again, with 4 verts out of a 2 tight end left set. Pretty good play design by Ole Miss to go after these 2 high safeties. So again, you line up the 2 tight ends left. We're going to fan them out. Right, so naturally, this safety is not going to just sit here. We're going to play this, right? We don't want to give this away, and the seams are open here too. And you get it versus the right call versus cover 2. For Dart, we're reading this safety, and again, this corner is playing cover 2. All right, so he's playing shallow. He realizes he needs to get and carry that once he sees Dart throwing. But it's just a good design to get this safety out of place instead of playing this deep half area. And Dart gets it. Now the ball, want a better ball, right? Juice Wells has to basically stop and turn for that ball. But for Dart, our eyes are on this safety right here. He plays. Again, we check, make sure he's not bailing. And again, Juice has to come all the way around from that for a pass he's wide open as of getting tackled. So want a better throw on it, but Dart gets it there. Nice chunk completion. Good play design by Lane Kiffin. Next play, we're going to throw the screen. Doesn't work out. See it, saw it. Fast forward through it. Next play, I really like this play design. We're going to have the running back and the tight end leak out. It's like a design throwback play, but Ole Miss tags 2 players on it instead of 1. Usually you would have this tight end do what he's doing, and then he would leak out to here. But what Ole Miss does on it is, they have, the post, the clear space. They play action, boot right. They pull, again, trying to just get everyone moving this way to create an area right here. But they have the running back work out into a wheel route. So it takes the one player that's responsible. So you get to have a two-way go on this, right? If 10 stays in to work with the tight end, well, then you have this wide open. He goes with the running back. Dart throws it to the tight end. So pretty cool play design by Lane Kiffin there, right? Wide leak is a very boomer bust play, but like give yourself an outlet on it, and that's what you do, and you get yourself a third down, and they're gonna try it again here on this 3rd and 2, I believe, right? Or am I looking at my wrong note? Oh yeah, they try and do something very similar. They try and run Y leak again. Dart gets hit while he's thrown. Again, you run this Yankee, and maybe this is truly a Yankee concept. Get it versus man coverage. You've got the post, the over, but the way that this receiver, Trey Harris, instead of just flattening this out, he works upfield. Makes me think that that's not the design. Because if that's the case, Dart's eyes would go here. And they really never, he looks to the tight end. And you see the tight end doing the same exact thing he did on the last play, right? And they also put Pegues in, who's their, short yardage runner. And it works, right? It does work. What doesn't work is our left tackle gets his ass kicked. And we get hit while we're throwing. But it works. It's a good play design. But again, left tackle gets worked. Dart runs it well. He reads it. Gets hit while he's thrown. That's where that pat the ball thing can hurt you. If you just threw this ball a quarter of a second earlier, this is complete. Instead, you're left with 4th down and kicking a field goal. Next drive, we're going to run play action jet sweep. We're going to run 2 digs with the tight end and this receiver. End up checking it down. Try to really see the angle. It's hard to see from the other view on this. Because Oklahoma started getting really aggressive on this jet sweep action here with the corner. And ideally, you could throw this ball into this window. But you have this linebacker underneath where I think that window wasn't really there. Unless Dart really wanted to hang in here. And he's got a clean pocket, right? Like maybe that is the best option, is just hang in here, step up, and then throw this ball in this window. In fact, I think it is. But it's a little easier said than done. We end up checking the ball down to the sweep. And losing 2 yards. Again, you don't really get a great angle from this view. But again, now that, I'm looking at this for like a 7th time, we can step up into this pocket, right? I understand we have here. Just hang in this pocket, and eventually this would have opened up. Instead, you got a 2-yard loss on the play. Next play, they're going to run sail up top versus a very soft cover 3, and Ole Miss just has no outlet here. I mean, I guess they do, but the outlet doesn't make much sense. So again, you're running a very soft cover 3, right? Watch the way the second level of defenders. Again, we're playing at about 10 to 15 yards worth of depth here. So the corner's not there, the post isn't there. So what is there would be the outlet, but our running back is blocking, not very well. Dart even gets to the backside of this on the out route. He doesn't like it. Good eyes by him. So let's run. Let's make a play. You got one defender, pump at the back. He works that way. Get 8 yards out of it. This is a good job by Dart, right? There wasn't really any good option for him, and he made the most out of it by turning this into an 8-yard scramble. Again, a little gamer there, Tim, to throw that pump at the back and then get the yards out of him. So now we have a 3rd and 4. We're going to run mesh. And this is, again, sometimes where I have issues with Ole Miss offense is not that it doesn't create chunk plays, is that it doesn't have the outlet. So they're going to blitz. They're going to play man coverage against mesh. Right, so before we get into just see this linebacker is blitzing. He is rushing free. So at this point, Dart, if he wants to throw the ball within the the construct of the play, it needs to be pulled the trigger now. Nothing is there. Right, nothing is there. Dart scrambles, throws the ball away. Right on, we should move on. They end up, punting it. But this is why you put the rail. Again, this is not supposed to be about Ole Miss's offense, but it is. This is why you put the running back out here. Is that if you get it versus man, and they run this blitz, who's this? Like you have this blitz, this linebacker, probably carries this in man coverage. You get to throw that, and then you get a 3rd and 4 1-on-1. Instead, you end up having to throw the ball away. Look how aggressive this linebacker is. You put the running back out here on a rail, you throw him that ball. If he makes something out of it, cool. If not, it's better than what that option is. So, all right. So Ole Miss is up 26-14 with 5.5 minutes left. They're kind of just trying to drain the clock out. They're gonna run, fake pitch QB counter. All right. Trace Ford making the tackle, right? That's an Ole Miss. That's a Giants player right there. Trace Ford. I got to clip that up. Remember that, Bobby. Good job by him. Let's break that down. That's a Giants player. If you're listening at this point, you want to hear. Good job. Squeeze it down, right? Good eyes. Rip inside. Get square. Take on. Oh, that's a good play by Trace Ford. I think you should move the stack linebacker. He's too small for edge in the NFL. Next play. For some reason, they kept this run play in this film that I'm using. Fast forward through it. So get a 3rd and 7. This is a predetermined read within the offense with this blitz here, or showing blitz. Now they drop out the end, or the linebacker who's lined up at the end. They run the clear slot fade with the slot and then the slant underneath. Oklahoma plays this well. This is kind of predetermined against pressure. 3rd and 7, end of game for Dart. This throw is there, right? Like he completes it. It just doesn't get you the first down that they were hoping for. Ends in a 4th down. But I would hope that if this was a more high leverage situation, that Dart would kind of step up in the pocket and try and find this backside dig on this wrap concept. But nonetheless, pre-snap, predetermined, get it out, completed, just not getting you the first down that you're hoping for. So they get the ball back again. Fake pitch, QB counter. Let's see, does Trace Ford make the play on this one? Nope. Dart gets the most out of it, which isn't much. Next play, throw the smoke. See it, saw it, fast forward through it. And then the last play of the game, 4th down and 10 or whatever it is. They run 4 verts, check it down again, just trying to get out of this game healthy. Doesn't convert. Oklahoma gets the ball back with a couple minutes left, and they lose the game, and Ole Miss wins. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Again, like and subscribe. Because I'm traveling and got a little behind, there'll be one more video this week, and then I'll do 2 the following week. And then we'll be all wrapping up with this soon. So appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.